Hey guys, this is another Rivers Art Colors. It has been quite a while since I put one of these things together, so forgive me if I'm a little rusty at it. Um, Took a little break from doing the videos. I don't know why, really. I think I just kind of got distracted with some other projects that I was doing. Um, and I've had, quite a few things go on in the meanwhile, just personally, quite a few personal projects I've been working on, and um, just life things. But this one here, this drawing that I did in Manga Studio EX of the Flash, definitely wanted to show you guys my process coloring this. I've been doing a lot of these um, kind of, I don't know how to explain it. They're not really character sheets, but um, just static poses of some of my favorite DC characters, and might do some Marvel characters here soon too. Um, but this one here, this is one of four that I've done so far. If you follow me on my DeviantArt page or on Facebook, I think they're all on Facebook. I've posted my Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman that I did previously. So I'm trying to complete the Justice League before a certain movie comes out this November. Um, I'm not getting paid to tell you guys that. I'm just a big fan. Just really, and a big fan of the Flash in general. Um, Pretty excited. That's going to be starting up here pretty soon too. The TV show, the CW TV show, which I kind of got a little bit of inspiration from the TV show for my rendition of the Flash. As far as when you look at his boots, I kind of have a little bit of that CW uh, Flash suit flair to it. But most of the costume, I kind of got my inspiration from the New 52 artwork. The way the lines are in the suit, I really dig. Um, and as you'll see later, I'll put this little Speed Force highlights in the grooves of his seams in his suit. Um, so I really like that effect. But yeah, here I am. I'm in Photoshop CS5 coloring. And you saw me lay down my flats with the lasso tool, and now I'm just going in and adding my highlights with the airbrush tool. It's pretty standard. If you guys have watched any of my other coloring videos, it's not too much of a departure um, from how I've been coloring. Sad to say, all this time that I've been away from posting for you guys, I've not really developed a whole lot of new coloring techniques, sadly. Um, Hopefully that'll change here soon. I'm planning on working on some more traditional um, media here pretty soon, and doing a little bit of painting, and going back to working with my um, Copex markers and my Prisma markers. I always find out when I work in traditional media, I always learn something about color that I didn't know before. It's kind of the backdraw of working in Photoshop. Um, your tools are so easy and so accessible that I don't know if you don't really learn a whole lot new about color theory. I think when you're actually mixing color together, um, you kind of learn a little bit more. But that's just my opinion on it. Um, but yeah, I mean, it's pretty much standard, putting in my red highlights in a suit. I wanted to make it look real, almost metallic. So I kind of had some lines suggested in my the way that I inked his suit that kind of make it maybe kind of suggest that it's a slick surface. Another one of the reasons why I kind of want to do these just standing poses of some popular characters, be it DC or Marvel. I'd like to have like a little, reference sheet for myself. Oftentimes, I'm kind of put in the position where I might have to draw a character I haven't drawn before. I haven't drawn very many times, and it's cool that each time I noticed each time that I would draw these characters, they would look a little different, which is to be expected. But there's certain things that I like to kind of keep some balance with, or some familiarity with, from picture to picture. So it's kind of part of the reason for doing these. Kind of doing my versions. Well, not completely my versions. I'm not really redesigning the costume all that much, but just kind of my preferred way to draw these characters. So I've got a lot to do. if I want to, I don't think I'll run through all of the Marvel or DC characters anytime soon, but it's a nice little exercise to kind of keep myself busy when I don't know what to draw. Which honestly, it hasn't been too much of a problem lately. A lot of the times when you post artwork online, people will think, well, this guy hasn't posted in a while, he must have stopped drawing, and that is not the case with everyone. I have a lot of artwork that I haven't posted, whether it be for private clients or for myself, just because I don't really feel the obligation to share everything that I do, and not everything that I do is great. So not everything that I do is worth sharing. But this one, hopefully, you guys will agree that that this is worth sharing. This video is worth sharing. And speaking of which, if you like the video, please do share it with your friends. If you or check out some of the other videos that I have on this channel. I'm sure I will put up a link in the description for this picture, so you can see the finished flash here. And while you're at it, if you like this work, check me out on my DeviantArt page. I'll have a link to that. I'll have a link to my my Instagram, which I've started using a lot more lately, and I've been posting some sneak peek sketches and work in progress sketches on there, as well as my Facebook page. I tend to post some sketches and work in progress things there too. But I think I'm going to start posting a lot of that more on Instagram now. I kind of like the way. Only thing I don't like about Instagram is you have to, everything's kind of in a square box, and a lot of my drawings tend to be more horizontal, but I could work around that. Anyway, I got completely off track of what I was talking about. But oh yeah, the next character that you'll see me draw, I'm not going to tell you. You'll have to stay tuned to the next video. But I will probably end up posting a little teaser on my Instagram. So if you follow that, you'll see who I got coming up next. And spoiler alert, it's another Justice League member. But who is it? You'll see. Yeah, I'm just putting in the shadows here. I kind of, I don't know, this was a really easy easy picture to color. It's not a whole lot of color separations in there. It's pretty standard issue crimson costume. I think that I worked in CMYK. Yeah, I worked in CMYK on this. Because I might end up printing this out, and I want it to look good. I have been doing a lot of rendering for web lately, so I've been using the RGB color mode more often. So I've had to get back in the habit of reminding myself to make sure it's set to CMYK for the stuff I might want to print out later. At the time of me posting this video, I think it's season 4 of The Flash will be right around the corner, and I'm both excited and concerned about it. I'm hoping that hoping they do something fresh to kind of keep the show interesting. Um, I want to see what they'll do with Barry coming back from the Speed Force, and you know what they'll do differently in his growth as a hero. Um, I don't, I don't, I haven't seen any of the trailers for the new season, so I don't really know what they're going to do with it. But I did see on Twitter, I saw like a little preview for the well, it was actually a piece of artwork for the crossover episode. I guess they're doing like a Crisis on Infinite Earths kind of deal, but CW style, with Crisis on Earth X, as they call it. So that should be pretty fun. I haven't watched Arrow all the last season. I kind of got fed up with Arrow, and I watched like half of uh, Legends of Tomorrow and Supergirl, maybe a handful of episodes from the last season. I don't know. I kind of got a little overwhelmed with the CW superhero TV, and it's just a lot to keep up with. And I don't really sit around and watch that much TV, so I don't know. I might go. I think a lot of those shows are on Netflix now, so I might go back and at least rewatch or finish up watching the last season of Legends, and maybe catch a couple of Supergirl episodes that I missed. But um, it's just a lot of shows to watch. I'm still trying to get caught up on all the DC animated stuff. Last thing I saw was it Justice League versus Teen Titans. It was really good. I'm probably gonna watch the Judas Contract, the Teen Titans Judas Contract next. Really dig that animation style that they have with the DC animated movies. Um, at least the ones that after the Flashpoint. It seemed like a lot of those adapted that Flashpoint art style. Um, it's like Justice League Wars kind of has that art style, and the Justice League versus Teen Titans has that art style, and a lot of the Batman animated um, uh, movies that they've come out with, like Bad Blood, and what's the other one? I think Batman versus Robin kind of has that same art style. Uh, it's really bulky, kind of bulky looking Superman, and more of a lean Batman. And I'm not too crazy about Wonder Woman's costume in there. Flash looks good. Aquaman looks pretty good in there. I really dug how they made Starfire look in that. She looked really cool. But yeah, you see it all coming together now. Just highlights, shadows, kind of going back and forth and making sure it's all evened out everywhere. Putting in my pin lighting there for the suit, and this is what really makes it look metallic here. I like the idea of Barry's suit looking kind of futuristic and ahead of its time, and um, not really clunky or you know. I guess what I'm trying to say, not really looking like the one that they have in the Justice League movie, where it's very rigid and clunky looking. Although, I mean, I don't. That suit's kind of growing on me a little bit. I don't think it's a bad suit, especially if they're suggesting that it's kind of a kit bashed, put together suit that he has. But my version, I like the idea of it being really form fitting and made of some kind of futuristic, you know, synthetic material that is it's very protective, but very you can be very agile in it. Maybe it's something where he's got like the flash ring, and he has to be vibrating at a certain frequency for him to even be able to fit, for the suit to kind of fit around him. Um, I think that's how I saw a drawing by Francis Menopole where the Flash is running and he's got like his suit's kind of forming around him, kind of in a Tony Stark style. Um, so I always thought that looked really cool. Um, so that's another kind of inspiration point for my version of the Flash, um, and also some obvious Jim Lee influence in there too. Um, his versions of the characters always sneak their way into my ideal version of these characters, um, especially when it comes to Batman and the Flash for sure. Um, Trying to think if there's maybe Green Lantern too. You'll have to wait and see. Um, I think that Green Lantern, you'll probably see me do something a little bit different with him, as far as kind of redesigning his costume. Um, but yeah, for the Flash, I pretty much, for the most part, kept it traditional. Just kind of changed a couple of lines here and there. Um, it's a very sparkly suit he's got with all those um, bright lights that I put in there. I think originally I was going to try to put a lightning effect in the background of the lightning bolt where the white circle is, but I think I ended up ruling that out because it would make him look too much like Shazam, so, or Captain Marvel, however you want to, whatever he goes by now. I think he goes by just Shazam now because they didn't. DC dropped the ball on re-registering the Captain Marvel name, so you snooze, you lose. But putting the gold effect on his lightning bolts there, and pretty much be done after that. Try to think if there's anything else I need to tell you guys. I'm going to probably try to upload at least one video a month now, hopefully. Um, just so you guys kind of get a little inside peek at some of the things that I do, some of the things that I like to work on for fun. If you guys have any suggestions, I would gladly try to do those for future videos. Not sure if I'm going to be doing any more Rivers Art Draw episodes. I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of ground I could cover there, but honestly, I don't feel super strong with my line art right now. I'm kind of going through some issues with trying to capture a certain look that I want with my line art, and I don't know. Maybe once I feel a little bit more comfortable with that, I can get there, but we'll have to wait and see. Um, but anyway, here I am putting in the finishing touches, putting those Speed Force lines in a suit, then putting that lightning. This is very simple too. I'm just using just my brush tool and white, or a little bit of an off-white color, and putting in suggestions of, lines. I had to straighten a couple of those out with my lasso tool. And then I'll go in a little bit closer with my smudge tool and kind of smudge it into the piping in his uniform. I use my layer styles to give it that glow that'll help sell it as lightning, or as Speed Force lightning. And I just go in and I mean, that really makes it stand out, that glow. Just makes it look like he's in tune with the Speed Force. After that, I'll go in and just select all my lines and my colors and group them together in a folder and duplicate that, and just set go to my filters and do a motion blur. kind of help sell it like he's maybe run and come to a sudden stop. And there it is. Alright guys, I hope that you enjoyed looking at my coloring process on this flash drawing. If you guys have any questions or comments or any suggestions on anything else you'd like to see me work on, you can leave them in the comments below or shoot me an email. I'll be glad to oblige. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you on the next one.
Let me show you something.